My guy. Actually, that was one of the curses that was put upon us because we was disobedient. Alright, so I'm finna tell y'all what happened, but please listen and actually understand what I'm saying. So remember how I was telling y'all that Jesus was actually black, and how God's spirit is actually black too. Hence why he made his son in his image. Hence why exactly black people was the first people on earth. Hence why skin color does matter. Hence, which is also why that proves black people are the real Jews. Alright, so I'm finna show y'all this little clip of this white man talking about when he finally figured out that black people was the real Jews and how the Messiah was black. Then I'm gonna show you how scientifically, historically, and biblically that is proven that black people are the real Jews.
So, I consider that the so-called black people of the West are actually the Jews of the scripture. And, it's a weird thing in my life because I was always taught that these people from Europe were Jews. And so, you're looking one direction, you're not. But then when you start looking at
Y'all, when I tell you there is so many people waking up, man, it's amazing. Okay, so first I'm gonna tell y'all how the lie started and how the white people became the Jewish people. So y'all remember the Holocaust, right? And what Hitler did. Now don't get me wrong when I say this. Hitler is definitely an evil person. But there was way more behind what he did. Alright, so it already has been proven that the Holocaust only lasted for 4 years. So now you have to sit back and think, what would make somebody do this to somebody? What would make Hitler do what he did? Hitler knew the truth about them not being the real Jews. He said, when the world finds out who the true Jews is, it's gonna start World War III. It was even in his book. He said America has God's true Jews. So when these people find out who the true Jews is, it's gonna start a war. Meaning there's gonna be a fight, because when these people wake up and find out who they truly are, even in the Bible it tells you they all have come confederate against thee. Meaning every nation came against us as a people to make sure we'll never figure out who we are. And they did just that. Have y'all wondered why the US is paying them all that money every year? But they don't even want to give black people reparations? But sending the Jewish people millions of dollars every year? That's hush money. So that's why the US is paying them all that money every year, millions and billions of dollars. Because America knows the truth about who they really are. And they holding it over America's head that y'all know who the real Jews are. Meaning if y'all don't pay us our money for keeping this secret, we gonna spill the beans. So basically they came up with a deal we'll portray to be these people and y'all take the real ones. And if y'all ever say something, we'll let people know what's really going on. Because y'all are holding the real children of Israel. So basically it's blackmail. The Jewish people are blackmailing America to keep the lie going. Why do you think they call Jewish ish to be like? You ain't the real Jew, you Jewish. You trying to be a real Jew. But what they don't realize is you can't join in. You gotta be born in. Being a Jew is a bloodline. So remember, all this stuff happened years ago when they came up with this deal. America and the Jewish people. The same one Hitler was trying to kill off. Because he knew America was gonna hide the real Jews. So like I said, all this stuff happened years ago. So generations and generations and generations have passed by. And those people who made the bargain died off. So they taught their children's that. So now they children's teaching their children's the same old lie. So after a while, they started teaching their children's this for so long that the people that's pretending to be the Jews today actually believe that they the real Jews. And what's even crazier is that their DNA even shows that they aren't originally from there. Even the man that ruled over Israel said it. He was asked, why will there never be peace in the Middle East? He said because the Jews left black and came back white. And that's why the Middle East will never have peace. And that there will be a war for Israel. And honestly, it's actually sad to say, but that's the reason Hitler started killing off those people. Because he knew what was to come. He knew they was going to portray to be the real Jews. That was the real reason for the Holocaust. Now let me tell you how it's all finna add up. Remember how I told you Jesus was a black man? And how the Jews are really black? Y'all do know that Jesus was hung, right? He wasn't even nailed to the cross. That was added in the Bible by the Roman Catholics from a pagan god called Tammuz, a lowercase t, which makes the cross symbol. Now in the Bible it says when Jesus died, that no bone shall be broken. So how was he nailed to the cross from his hands and his feet with no bones breaking? It's impossible. So when you go back and look at the Hebrew Bible, it never even talks about nailing his hands and his feet. It said they were at my hands and feet like a lion. Wait, hold on, because y'all not hearing me. Jesus was hung. Acts 5:30 tells you that. History shows that when a person was worthy of death during those times, it was of law that you had to be hung from a stauros. The God of our fathers raised up Jesus, whom you killed, hanging him on a tree. There was a divine curse placed upon a hanged person. And if a man has committed a crime punishable by death, it was by law that he had to be hung from a tree. So when I say Jesus was hung, and that the Bible never said they pierced his hands and feet, it said, like a lion, they were at my hands and feet, gathered around him as he hung. Hold on, because I don't think y'all understanding what I'm saying. Like a lion, they was at my hands and my feet. Like a lion, they was at my hands and my feet. Like a lion, they was at my hands and my feet. Who you killed hanging him by a tree. Have it ever came across y'all mind why what happened to Jesus actually happened to us as black people? How he was whipped across his back the same way our people was whipped across their back? See, because everything we allowed to happen to him, he allowed it to happen to us. Oh wait, y'all probably wondering what we allowed to happen to him. Oh, you see, because they like to tell y'all that the Romans killed the Messiah. But it was really us, the Hebrews, the Jews. You see, because in the Bible, Pilate's wife had a dream about the Messiah. When she seen that our people was trying to kill the Messiah, she pulled her husband aside and said, have nothing to do with this man's killing. She said she had great sufferings and dreams about him. Have nothing to do with this righteous man's killing. So guess what Pilate did? He turned to the people and said, I don't see nothing wrong that this man has done. So if you decide to kill him, the blood will be upon your hands. And guess what our people mistakenly said? That's fine. Put it on our hands, our children's hands, for generations and generations. Kill him. And so it was so. So ever since that day, we was cursed to die the same way he died. Which is why slavery was one of the curses that was put upon us. We shall get whipped like him. We shall hang like him for what we allowed to be done. We are a stiff-necked people. We disobedient. The same way the Messiah hung from the tree, we was cursed to hang from a tree. The same way the Messiah was whipped, we was whipped. All it is one of the curses that was put upon us in our land of captivity. Cursed is one who hangs on a tree. You know, the curses put upon us was slavery and captivity. Slavery and captivity. Having no power to stand against our enemies. Having no power against our enemies. Sent to Egypt again by ships. Sent to Egypt again by ships. Exiled in the land of our enemies. Scattered among all nations. A very sick and disease-stricken people. At the bottom socially with other races high above them. Lost the true knowledge of who we are. And we will be called by many scornful nicknames other than Israel and Hebrew. Packed in prisons and jails. Packed in prisons and jails. A non-prosperous people. We will even hate each other. And oppress people by their enemies. A very religious and members of all religions. And those are only some of the main curses that was put upon us for disobedience. He said, your sons and daughters will be given unto another nation, while your eyes grow weary, looking for them day by day, with no power in your hands. Hold on, because I don't know if y'all hearing me. Your sons and your daughters shall be given unto another people, with no power in your hands. With no power in your hands. Read that Bible for you, because you